In 2019, actress Constance Wu was attacked for expressing explicit discontent on Twitter following the news of the renewal of her show, Fresh Off the Boat. She was deemed ungrateful because it is one of the only Asian American sitcoms, and ultimately she was not supported by the Asian North American community during this backlash. Fast forward to 2022, she reveals the context behind her tweets: experience of misconduct and sexual assault on set. Aside from the silencing of women experiencing sexual misconduct in the workplace, I want to highlight another issue, which is the quote-unquote pressure to be grateful in the Asian community and how it relates to Asian/Asian North American representation in the media. Within this type of representation in the media, historically oppressed groups within the community hold this trauma of allowing ourselves to be happy with what we have, even if it is not what we want, need, or deserve. As Asian consumers of media, this plays out in squeezing out some form of commonality between who we see on screen and the references we can relate to, even if the representation does not mimic real-life experience. By this, I mean being happy to see an Asian person on screen, disregarding the difference that they are East Asian and I am Southeast Asian, or that it is a Chinese story and not a Filipinx story. I am grateful that there are people who look somewhat similar to me and stories that are somewhat relevant to my identity and culture, but still, it isn't enough because in reality, it's the bare minimum. The lack of diverse Asian representation in the media shows the audience that historic complex dynamics and differences within the community ring true. It is more difficult to break into the industry if you are South or Southeast Asian, and it is more difficult to input actual cultural references that non-Asian people would not get without real-life experience. However, it shouldn't be this way. The fight for diverse Asian/Asian North American representation continues, and we must highlight the Asian community's mechanism of being grateful, even if it means silencing ourselves, such as in the case of Constance Wu. Because at the very least, she is part of a show that outwardly has meaning to the Asian community as a whole, and at most, her tweets were quickly used against her in the name of being a disgrace for being ungrateful. Still, players in the media industry are not doing enough to diversify representation both on screen and behind the scenes. And as a diaspora that is so diverse in different ways, we must allow ourselves to ask for more than what we have been receiving, because we deserve our own tables, and not just a seat.